gonna scare some people. Ain't nothing black around her. Her family that she goes home to don't look nothing like her. Her real last...
Okay, so on Saturday, I came across this footage that you guys are seeing right here in the B-roll footage that I'll play some of which to you guys here in a second. And this particular footage I found striking because it seems to me let's just say that people have woken up and they've realized that white Karen is in fact a real thing. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, we already knew that white Karen was a big thing. However, the thing is this right here. Not everybody is on social media as much as you think, and these ladies found out firsthand what a white Karen was.
So I called it white. So I called it white. And am I a liberal? Do I disagree? Are you a Democrat? Yes, I am. Okay. So the only people. So I work for the government. The only people who ever challenged.
Why did you switch a social conversation? Just shut the
Real quick, guys, before we get started, this right here is going to be another one of those confusing videos that kind of end the evening. But then again, I may release another video like my election prediction. I'm not entirely sure. I'll be discussing that over the course of this video here. But we're not only going to be discussing other facets of Obama's coalition falling apart and him beginning to realize that the people who loved him most are starting to slip away from him. We're also going to be talking a little bit about pop culture in this video and the stars that they've chose to throw out there. Of course, these stars include Cardi B, Spike Lee, LeBron James, and all the other celebrities that come out to endorse the Democrat when they get absolutely desperate, which is really all the time because their ideas are crap and they can't win without... But still, though, we're going to be discussing that over the course of this video. The black lady there also found out exactly who it was that is running the Democratic Party plantation. The plantation that says that because you are black, you must vote a certain way. There was also this other interesting segment from Cam Newton's show that I'll be talking about here in a second. But given the fact that right now black turnout is down roughly 20% and will probably remain down through till tomorrow, which of course is election day, I think that these words from David Axelrod, Obama's former advisor and campaign manager, let's just say that don't pay attention so much to what he says, pay attention to his body language.
Worried about right now?
Well, look, the watchword of the day is humility here. When you have polls that are this close, and I'm sitting next to one of the great pollsters, and I think she would tell you, when you have polls this close, you're not sure of anything. And it really matters who shows up because these polls are not precise. So what I'm worried about is you're counting on some women who are independent Republican women to come out and vote for Harris. Is that going to materialize? Is the gender gap going to be what you need it to be? Are minority voters going to come out in the numbers of African American voters in particular, and are you going to get the margins that you want there? So there are a lot of open questions, and they're obviously working it hard right now. There are feet on the street, and they're doing the kind of work that you do in a race like this. But this race is filled with uncertainty today.
What is...
Okay, so you guys obviously looked at Axelrod's body language. You guys obviously heard what he had to say. And of course, there's also this other clip that I'll leave in the description box from Fox News, where it's actually showing you guys the actual, let's just say, the current election day early voting map. And let me go ahead and say this. Normally at this point in time, Democrats have at 46, Republicans are normally at like 33 or 34. Typically, Republicans tend to come out and vote on election day itself. Don't ask me why it's a traditionalism thing, but of course, we've also seen those quote-unquote chicanerous things occur mostly on election day, but it seems like Republicans are a little bit ahead of the game. And then not to mention the fact the 100,000 poll workers and attorneys that the Trump team hired, the RNC hired, yeah, I have a feeling that too big to rig could in fact become a very, very big thing. However, I will be talking a little bit more about that in another video, so make sure you guys stick around. It'll probably come out tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead and kind of run the table on election day and the day before election day. When it comes to content, I'm probably going to be very, very busy over the next few days. So make sure you guys stick around for at least the whole week because there could be a lot more content than normal and my algorithm is going to be all screwed to hell. But Still, if you guys are new here, please cut the notifications on for the channel. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Please share the video. Please sound off. And of course, as I said before, cut the notifications on. And also, you guys can follow me on Facebook and Twitter. So let's go ahead and get into this. A still frame of Obama's face, and then, of course, also Michelle Obama's face, makes me think to myself that these people are losing. And I mean, losing the legacy that they cultivated. So let's go back to 2008 for a second. I did talk about Obama's legacy a little bit and why it was that Joe Biden's garbage comments, and he's also said some other crazy stuff here recently, was actually Obama's legacy. It's a legacy of division. It's a legacy of discontent for your fellow man. It's a legacy of playing the race card over and over and over again and demeaning the literal hell out of your opponents. It's also the legacy of what you guys may have saw early on in the diner that you guys saw in the B-roll footage. But let me go ahead and play the rest of that segment for you.
It means that you understand what someone is saying. Okay. I think we felon, sex offender, and accused of espionage, indicted for espionage.
Like I said, the only people who ever challenge it are white Democrat women.
I am a 35-year national security expert.
No, stop.
National security expert.
Oh, you're so smart.
Who you are? Okay.
Everybody can believe in what they want to believe.
No.
Thank you. Will you tell her we were having a private conversation before she came over in my face saying, "Am I serious?" So no, don't talk to me. Talk to her. You and I already know. You and I already know who is the one. Yeah, you and I already know. So take your attention right over here. Right over here.
Denial.
Watch out, lady.
It's gonna be.
You're trying me. You're trying me. No. Why do you keep looking at me when she's the one agitating it? No. If you're going to be a mediator, then do it correctly. Address the person who you clearly see got up and got in my face. Man, go sit down somewhere. Right. Placating to these people.
The legacy is, I am superior to you. The legacy is that because you are black, you need to vote a certain way. Obama was the last president that these voters would vote for at an extremely high clip when it comes to the black population. We've seen the polls, we've seen the movement, and of course now we're starting to see people of color physically in line with us at the voting stations wearing Trump gear. It's real. Black people are, in fact, voting for Trump at a much, much higher rate. It's the 3 generations thing, and no wonder Barack Obama would have an extremely rough facial expression. No wonder Michelle Obama would have an extremely rough facial expression because they can kind of see whatever other bits of legacy that they have beginning to slip away. And that legacy, of course, is exactly what I said in the previous video about the garbage comment being on Obama. But it's also the fact that black people themselves are beginning to wake up to the reality that Barack Obama, once again, was another carbon copy, bought and paid for politician who, in fact, was running the liberal plantation. And now, of course, they are beginning to reject it. Okay, now, guys, I want to give you a heads up. This next part is going to be kind of a contradiction, or it's going to feel that way from the previous part, but trust me, it will make sense in the end. Let's continue. Well, the rest of Obama's legacy includes what you guys are seeing here in the B-roll footage. Ratchety culture. Now, I can already hear somebody saying that that is absolutely 100% racist, what you're saying, but what did you guys expect was going to happen? Did you honestly expect Sexy Red, who at one point in time was on camera talking about Donald Trump throwing out checks during the pandemic, did you honestly expect her to support Donald Trump? No. Did you honestly expect her to not only eventually not support Donald Trump, but of course, did you also not expect her to not want to continue the degenerate nature with posts like hands off our, can't really say it. I mean, did you honestly expect Cardi B, who at one point in time was complaining about the situation in New York City with the trash, did you honestly not expect her to not come out and eventually endorse Harris? I mean, look, listen to this woman speak for 2 seconds and tell me if she did not, in a way, endorse Donald Trump.
Word that comes out of her mouth. She's passionate, she's compassionate, she shows empathy, and most of all, she is not delusional. Yeah. Kamala recognized that this country is at risk, that the economy needs to get stronger, that the cost of food and the cost of living is too high. Damn, it's even high for me. I believe her when she says, under her, buying eggs and milk won't break the bank. Because
I mean, seriously, guys, she's unintelligible. She doesn't speak with any type of fluidity. I mean, it just feels like the dumbing down of America right there is inside the brain of Cardi B. And not to mention the fact she used to drug men by her own admission. I could very easily answer back to Cardi B by simply saying, who the hell has been in the Oval Office for the past 4 years? Seriously, who the hell's been there for the past 4 years? So at this point in time, they bring out every single person that they can bring out to try to intensify the black vote, because the black vote is down roughly 20% from the last election. A lot of it is because black men have chosen to say, you know what, I'm going to go vote for Trump. And other black men have said, you know what, I think I'm going to go with Trump this election and support him with our silence by not going out there and voting. Black men, by the way, have got to be in unison with black women at a much, much higher rate for the Democrat to get elected. Now in 2020, that's kind of sort of the exception to the rule, because in that election cycle, you had a lot of people who were registering just simply to vote because they wanted the COVID mess to end. And a lot of those people have decided to say, no, we're just not going to vote this election cycle. We're just not going to vote this time around. And some of them, of course, have even switched to Trump. So, yes, it is very possible, especially given Republican voter advantage, that you could, in fact, be seeing an outright landslide. Even an intensification in the black vote might not actually help the Democrat out this cycle, especially given the fact that they're not exactly too happy about Kamala Harris, nor do they really like her. What I'm saying to you is that this heavy reliance on people who are just ratchet as hell has turned a lot of people of color, black people in particular, off from wanting to support the Democratic Party. This is probably going to lead to let's just say it's probably going to lead to a coming to Jesus moment in said community, where a lot more black people are going to wake up and realize that they've been lied to for years by the Democratic Party establishment, and the person who lied to them the most was, in fact, Barack Hussein Obama. And I think that the facial expression that you saw in that photo that I had was the actual truth. He is angry. He is upset. He is obviously pissed off about the fact that he cannot, under any circumstances, get through these people that you need to be supporting who I tell you to support. And right now, of course, what he's saying is getting absolutely rejected. But don't be fooled, because they are doing 3 rallies tonight, all in Pennsylvania, which tells me that Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, where the turnout is actually very, very low, it's desperation time for these people. So, of course, they're going to do anything and everything. They're going to get as nasty as they can get to try to get these people out. However, at the end of the day, though, it just looks ratchety. It makes a certain subsection of the population look bad. This is another reason why it is that Obama's legacy, once again, is in fact unraveling. But remember what the thumbnail said. It says he's pissed. He's pissed because they're not turning out. Why? Well, I think my man here that was talking to Cam Newton, I think he said it best. I'm going to let the first half of it run. We're going to run the other half after I get some commentary, and I'm going to tell you what I think ultimately happens.
Support Trump over Kamala.
Well, I think you should know, I don't vote. I don't participate in shit like that. I feel like it's sucker shit. But I have a problem with Kamala and her history toward brothers and sisters. She really don't fuck with us. She don't fuck with us, except for when she go on her little campaign speeches and she put on her sister girl type of thing. She was a prosecutor up there in California, and she is responsible for a lot of brothers being lost in the system. And on top of that, I'm just keeping it real. Now, this gonna scare some people. Ain't nothing black around her. Her family that she goes home to don't look nothing like her. Her real last name, she won't use it during...
You can only lie to people so much. All right? You can only lie to people so much. Let's play the rest of it, and I'll tell you what I think.
Campaign, because it would throw off a whole bunch of voters that are of color and all like that. She won't use her last name that she's married into or whatever. It's hard for me to support any fake shit. Somebody said, Corey, she's doing that so she can get her hustle on. You get what I'm saying? But I'm like, it's hard for me to support. I've made mistakes and supported fake shit, but I always feel bad doing it.
So you think Trump ain't fake?
Yeah, I'm not somebody who's saying go out and vote for Trump, but if somebody forced me to speak up for somebody, I'll speak more for the bigot to show you who he is than the girl who a bigot and don't want nobody to know it. She a bigot. She don't like her. She don't even claim black, I heard. It's like, what do you do with somebody like that? That's an insane woman. I'm just saying, man, I don't expect my opinion to be the popular opinion, but it's the opinion I have toward the woman. I don't like when she up there acting like, I'm fighting for you. Shut up, bitch. Go.
This type of stuff right here has demotivated this population from voting. And then to go on top of that, you've also got the white Karen factor, which of course I'm showing you guys some stuff right in the B-roll footage from a video that I posted earlier at 3 o'clock, which is about the situation involving Somali Arab and Muslims in Minnesota and Michigan doubling down on their endorsement of former President Trump. Like I said, this is also Obama's legacy too. People are waking up and realizing that, hey, the reality that you're telling me on TV is not the reality that I'm living in, all right? What's happening is that everybody is waking up. Now, I did say that I would tell you what eventually would happen. And here it is. I have been a little bit skeptical of 20 to 25%, 30% of black vote going for Trump. However, after further consideration, after going to a Trump rally yesterday in what is really my hometown at the Jetport, after going to a Trump rally 2 weeks ago in the place that I live at, yes, I live in the state of North Carolina. I'm pretty sure you guys can figure out what cities. After seeing in the actual line itself, I'm going to say that my prediction of 18% still stands at a relatively lower portion of the overall vote. It could get as high as 21. So I'd say between 18 to 21%. And I think that that is the real reason why it is that Barack Obama is so pissed off right now. You can see it in his face. You can see it in his body language. He knows that people are not going to want to turn out. But then again, though, at the same time, though, they tried to give you this myth that women are outvoting men, 55% to 45%. Yet, what they forget to tell you is that graph you guys are seeing in the B-roll footage is 2 weeks old. They also forget to tell you that when it comes to the topic of women, white women voted for Trump 52%, then 54%, the next cycle 55% in 2022. They'll probably go to him this time at about 55 to 58%. Like I said, the abortion thing, it only works on just a very, very small handful of women. It just so happens to be that that small handful of women is more amplified over anything else. By the way, I'm also calling it now, Trump also improves with black women. And that right there, my friends, is the real reason why it is that Barack Hussein Obama is pissed. He sees what his legacy is. Of course, he won't admit to it out loud, but he knows he divided this country. He also knows that he lied to an entire ethnicity. And people have woken up and people are starting to realize that he was, in fact, lying to them and playing with them, fooling them. Basically, yanking their chain. But you guys tell what you think in the comment section. I may get 1 to 2 more videos out tonight. They're getting released every few hours. It might be my election prediction, but of course, that video is probably going to be a little bit longer, and it would basically just be a video that's tossed out like 9 o'clock at night before I go to bed. It's going to be a relatively long night, even going into Election Day, and I plan on having at least 1 video out tomorrow. But I do know that you guys, some of you guys are probably voting tomorrow, so I don't want to bother you guys too much. So if you're in line, just put the video off to the side till you get a chance. Go in there, vote, get it done. And that right there be it. Let's go ahead and run the table here. Make sure you guys please hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notifications bell. Please share the video, sign off in the comments. I'll see you guys later.